Hey everyone, I don't know what you're experiencing, but there is a sink feeling of a down the plug hole. Because my experience has been quite the repeat of someone wanting to keep things the same and has told himself that I am of that nature that will assist. He's told himself in his belief pattern life experience that I have come along to play a part as everyone else that he can circulate with at that same kind of resonance, and there is no expanse that is actually in control of something. But we're part of the universe and we have paths and plans where you can do nothing but move forward. It's inevitable you're going to be called to something new and different at some stage, whether it's small or large. It is a feeling of expanse. So when the soul does that, working with the highest invitation in their life that may see them going through an earthly challenge, when they realize they get through the illusion of the challenge, their soul has expanded. They do more, they can see more, they experience more. Okay? So you are like, if people think they're not heading anywhere in life and they've got to maintain a certain thing and it's got to be like this and blah, 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 and you notice that there's negative energy associated with them keeping it that way, that's got to go. That's a sign. So I just want to remind you of the sign. I'm not following that shit down to talk about it. It's just obvious that if someone works hard to keep something going, it's most likely meant to go. No matter what mindset, attachment, pattern, emotional connection, safety, security, longing, feeling of, I've got it sorted. When we're part of a universe, we are energy. So this is the misconception of the usual human paradigm still being lived, and convinced themselves there is no outer, higher, they have no outer, higher belief that they are actually being assisted every step of the way. They actually think their perhaps ability to work with energy, like I am dealing with, someone's ability to work with energy, I'm the one that's mastering all this. And if you don't give me the credit or the praise or appreciation, then you're not a part of my mastering energy. But mastering energy is not a thing. It's not a thing. It's a humbly follow your guidance and life expands for you. So it's a, I give thanks for what I've had, what I've got. And if I'm asked to leave some stuff behind, I will do that. Because seriously, we're not here forever. So we're not masters trying to accumulate and be the best on the planet. This is where ego boys can get caught up in their selves. They don't see outside their ego. So they think they're so clever with their mirages. Like, they don't think it's mirages, but they're trying to put on something for you to believe. And it's been happening in all different areas. Like Trump. And I'm not talking him up. So when I say Trump, I don't mean Trump with admiration. I don't mean Trump with I'm attached to him and his reign leaving the scene. I live one with the faith and knowing that this kind of focused intent in our energy field is not serving. We can all see that. So it was like the divine, right, that's behind every player that came here, not doing their shit. The divine is not about their shit choices towards others. The divine plan is, let's turn up the volume. Because they're just not getting it. They keep thinking they're ruled by the material world. So this is why we find ourselves now in like the sink spiral. So if you think you're caught up in someone's power play agenda, then step out. And this is why there is some talk of, you know, like different players that were a part of things stepping away from it, because they're just like looking at this volume that's been turned up and said, well, no, I don't actually, that doesn't sit well with me, you know? You got to actually practice what you speak. Otherwise, it's just a preach to get people's energy and do what you want with it. And that's not fair or nice. Okay, so look in the mirror. Look close in the mirror. People doing that. And say, honestly, I wouldn't like it if it was done to me. It would feel horrible if this was done to me. Now let that mirror reflection burn right through you. You're not going anywhere, but it needs to burn away the crap, the mirage. I can put on a mirage because in this world, this is what we do. I appear and speak, and everything should just, you know, be for me. Don't get too used to that, because people's power, people's attention, people's livelihoods, people's loving focus, people's living well abilities is not for you to fuck around in a moment, right? Like show up and put a cap on, go through the campaigning, whatnot, and then be a callous bastard. So this magnifying glass is on the world of that. Like a sink. Like your games and trickery in the material world manipulation is not of service to this planet. So the divine is not dumb. They know how to help Mother Earth. You know, like the fact that we can come here. I'm touching the wood because it's like you can come here, you can touch things, you can take care of things, you can enjoy this experience, but you cannot rule the freaking world because you have material. Okay, so get out of your fucking illusion. So it does feel like that, doesn't it? Like a magnifying glass burning a hole, the heat is on kind of thing. Now with that, this is not a praise of awareness. So with all I have brought to light in my chat, I'm not the only one that brings certain aspects of this to the forefront. I would like to send praise to the highest. I would say normally I pray, but I want to bring the clarifying attention from the word pray to thank you with highest praise for all that's happening at this time, to magnify. In other words, dissipate. Like, put some attention right on the true matters, the true crimes on humanity, the true endeavors, discrepancies that this world is ruled by some. Okay, this world is ruled by none. This world is ruled by peace, love, and harmony. So you either join it, or if you go against, hop off. And you can't dance around with mirrors and trickery. Know exactly what you're doing, otherwise you'll see it clearly that you are like the sink. That feeling of draining. Because that's energy. That's what we're all a part of. If we are doing that within ourselves, that's what we will feel. So of the highest is saying clearly, expand yourselves. Don't be sinkholes. Which is someone expecting to be like rescued, but yet they've got no one to hold on to. And what did they yell out for? Blame. Like Trump with his voting tactics and whatnot. And that's just one of it. And you can tell when someone is like honest. Because in that scene of him, I don't know where I watched it. I think it was briefly on YouTube. At his little desk, all the suits around him at the back. If someone clearly wanted to get a point across, he would just say it. But no, he looks to all the suits he's got to have behind him like this to make like the big porker. Sorry to say, but he's unhealthy by choice. So he can sit at the desk and say, look around at his suits and blame someone else. Like, look at my power resource. We are correct. Seriously? Like, when Obama had a discrepancy with something, he would just say it. We're looking into it. And he meant it. It's good when people mean what they say. They're not doing things because they're putting up a power play. So that is why I give praise that if we can truly see this clear, we are lifted in expanse. That we see how we're needed and our lights are coming online. And life is a continual up and expanse. Okay? So, and as your life slowly, like however long your life plan is to be here. Seriously, they are all very unique and they all have purpose. Our entry and our exit are very unique and they all have purpose. So just as we bless the entry, we should just be thankful that the end is set up and not spend our lives worrying about it. Like there will be some variables, right? But there can be for some souls some accuracy. So don't worry and analyze it. Give thanks that you're here, and the exit is inevitable. Okay, but it's what you do while you're here. So the point of me saying that was because in this expanse, it somewhat slows down the understanding that life is more fulfilling and there is more wisdom of having expanded. And if like you're doing your path set up, right? Less challenges, more joys when a challenge comes your way. Seriously, the wisdom of expanse. I am not doing this all on my own. I am following a path. I meet different parts of my path. And gee, if I didn't follow through on that, then I wouldn't have got to this. And oh my God, it does feel of expanse and light. And then say a year goes by and you're like, I'm not dealing with the same issues. I'm not the same person because I followed through on like betterment. Challenge, probably, yes, but consciously stepping out of my fears. Is this a divine path led? All of it is. So if you are listening, you stepped in, you expanded, less challenge, open to more. And the realization is way beyond someone who still can't let go of control. Anyone who thinks they are controlling just because their mind has made up this mirage that I can do this and I can do this and I will do this as much as I want, right? That's not what we're here for, and that's not life. So you're most likely discontent and always feelings of strife. Now, if I just make this fit, then all of this should fit too. You don't work hard to make something fit. This is controlling goggles. So you're going to have to learn at some stage or another, or they're going to feel like they probably get smashed in at some stage or another, like a forehead slap even. Because how else does anything get shone on something where people think they're here to control life? So, in the difficulty perhaps of that let go, they'll actually see their higher purpose, not in battle to control. Oh, I have to do so much, and when am I going to get something? Well, perhaps you're using your abilities where you shouldn't be. Okay? So someone might be shining honestly on you that you are using your abilities where you shouldn't be, and if you stop doing it, you'll see there is more to you. More to life. More to what people offer, more to what can be expanded in this world. But you have to drain the effing crap of thinking you walk around so powerful and you are the one making it happen for you. That's a drainage of crap. And my eyes are closed because it's more of a whole focus. And dare I say the exact thing I'm talking about? Well, this person, Matthias, stuffs around with distraction. This is what magicians can muck around with. If I get the dangling carrot over here, then I'll get what I want. Like if I put the dangling carrots here, I'll get what I want. Take the control goggles off. That's all I have to say. I'm not telling people what to do. But from a whole view, that's what I'm here for. Okay? I give praise to the highest. So my prayer is done that quick. Don't try and attach to me, Matthias, because you do your magician shit and try and get my attention in the exterior. Okay? There's the distraction. He doesn't even put consciousness to the fact that he's trying to distract someone's energy so that he can still sneak around in the energy field and thinks he's owed at getting something. He's got his own little whole power play belief system going on that he actually believes I came along on this planet after 40-something years and I am a player of this kind of shit. It is no joke that I'm writing a book, and I say writing because it's practically written if I could just have my own space for expansion. But my path is a part of his path, but he looks at it as a part of, oh, you came along and you're a part of my plans and you'll fit how I want you to fit, and etc., etc. No, I'm writing a book which is interrupted because of divine plan of us two to meet. I was absolutely quite content with my life. Day job and writing a book. And in that day job, I was expanding beyond the job. Okay? Working in the energy field of a higher vibrational consistence. Now that's what we're here for. We are not here to manipulate. Because when he entered my life, as I'm writing the book titled Becoming Whole with Your Soul, that's not no muck around. That is for the times we're in. And he comes along in this expansion that I'm in, as that is what my life process has been, thinks he's magician trickery, as he continuously used the workplace I was at, put in spell fucking casting on the interaction, and he's standing there somewhere else in the world, right? Because he remote views, astral travels, and does his magician shit. He's somewhere in the world tapping his foot saying, well, why isn't this working? And so I message this bloke and say, if you don't get your ass here and do this human interaction for this soul reunion, because it's in body form, if you think you're going to control me at a distance in my life, that's not going on. Okay? So all the beliefs and everything that you're doing, control goggles down. And if it keeps going, it will feel like they are crushed. We are here to help humanity. So stop fucking around in your ego bubble. And you can tell anyone anyone at all doing this, you'll get glimpses and felt understanding that there is some kind of selfish, self-indulgence, lining perspective, because they want to put that out there and everyone follow it. You'll feel some kind of empty self-serving because they don't even realize how empty it is. It's just been built up long enough that they abuse their power and talents. And probably most likely feel victimized and owed something. So they're lost in their own fucking goggle, ego, mirage. Just do what everyone else is doing. And I'm here to pop the ego bubble. Okay? Because you're too caught up in it and it's not the truth. And so when I give praise to the highest, it's because we are the highest. But a lot of us are trapped in ego. So if you get your bubble popped, it's of higher purpose. There is higher purpose for you, and that constant victimized, owed feeling is when your ego's popped and you can see there's more purpose. But you're not going to do it with your little mirage freaking lining and layering of how it's all got to happen. So I give praise to the utmost highest. And yes, people, this is what we cannot see walking around on earth with us, but we are one with. They wouldn't do this ego bubble mirages. They are here to assist humanity. No one comes to earth without spiritual connection and being prompted to following the highest for serving one's betterment. It's just whether you can get your stories and your egos to the side and actually open up and listen with your ears to your chest, what's for me and what's not. And what do I learn from this? And let go of the rest. Expanse, not same, and I'm going to continue because of this, and I'm going to use my power and resources because of this. It's dump the crap that holds you back. There is more. You are always guided. You're here to help humanity. Please participate as best you can in noticing. Then we can look outside to the world and people with more of this higher betterment focus, not of sorry for ourselves, round in crap, gonna bring everyone down with this so we can stand up. You will feel better about yourself when you're not entangled in that. So ask yourself that one question. Do I want to feel better than I do today? Well, continuing the same way is not the way. And that is that. Do not think, Matthias De Stefano, I am attached. Because his little magician brain says at this point, when I have given these different spiels along the way of truth happening, because he doesn't want to believe that I am here of higher service. Because if he did, he wouldn't be stuffing around. He'd be like opening up to betterment, as tough as it may seem, the opposite to going around in crap. So you open up to the faith, belief, and trust of something completely different. Not in the control mechanism of humans, but actually open yourself up that you're a part of help. And that's the only way anyone includes the feeling of higher help. Otherwise, they don't believe it. They're too busy going around in their victimhood. If you're acting like a victim, you don't feel any higher purpose. So you have to open up and get yourself out of that. I have to control, otherwise I don't get what I want. You have to open yourself up and out of that. And at this point, normally, Matthias likes to think, okay, are you finished now? Because my magician control says that I get what I want. And you are here to serve that. And I am not here to serve anyone's victimhood, ode, slavery, superior mentality. It is you, my friend, that needs to open up to heaven assisting. And if you don't let that in with some action and belief in it for the power of love that we all are, then you'll go down in victimhood. Like you're not helped and you have to control and you have to abuse people's power and make them feel a certain way. And then they'll try and draw in all that kind of sorry for themselves energy. Sinkhole. It's of a heavy nature, boys. Take a look. If you're any kind of vibrational teacher, take a look at yourself. If you have sinkhole mentality, like if you have lower, draw in, keep for myself, this is the only way, I am of lower vibrational talk, like I am victimized, I am sad, I am this and I am that. You gotta step away from that mentality and let it drain. And open up. And you will have got a sign of what to do. That might be something as simple as, well, you have self-indulged for long enough. In this stepping away from that, go and volunteer your help. And get a level head about yourself. That there's a lot of suffering in this world, and you are acting of complete imbalance, self-indulge, taking advantage still for yourself. Get a level head and open up to the world. You're not there forever. Could you please go and help? Now, if you don't get that, good luck. No one's here to do that for you, but that is what you have to do. It's like people who get their lives back on track from having been like, oh, if I lose my money, I crash, I don't know who I am. When at the end of the day for this temporary life experience, could you find shelter tomorrow? Yes. Do you have enough money, or is there a service or anyone that could help you just to get by? Yes. But if you've got worries of big concern that you can't upkeep some kind of lifestyle or something and your identity is so attached to it, and you go into victimhood over it, then you're not seeing the wholeness of your path and the point of it. It is not for that. So then you take a look at how you can balance that. Like, well, instead of sitting around or instead of working so much and sitting pretty, say, is there anywhere where I could be of more service and my soul would enjoy it? Not my human that likes to think, oh, I couldn't be seen doing that, or I couldn't give too much. But yet we're sitting all lovely and pretty. Okay, so if you feel any kind of discontent in your life, life is asking you to balance. There's nothing wrong with people having a lot or what this world pays them for certain talents and services. There's nothing wrong at all with that. This is if you feel discontent, you need to get some balance in this world. Because we can get very narrowed. mind can then blame the world. But it's us that needs to open up if we're getting self-narrowed. So if you're feeling like you don't have enough of anything in life, open yourself up. I don't have any problems with that. It's just like a natural thing to do. And it's the way we could be looking at life now for a contented soul experience, and noticing where we're like in down energies, and then we look out and point the finger as to why. But we don't sit back and go, have I had any opportunities that I might enjoy that I could offer myself to? Have I? And it is of humbling because it's of balancing, right? And those two words are not like, oh, but I won't have this glamour part of it, and I should, or, but I won't have, oh, how will I do that? I can't do that. Humble yourself. Yeah, you could. You could enormously do something. And in that doing, there will be a feel better for others and their energy coming back towards you, and for you realizing that you're doing that. You are creating that beautiful flow with life. Okay? Balancing. But it took humble. It took no more blame that you don't feel good and perhaps have to medicate, and the world should like nurture in this medicated state and whatnot. I'm not taking the piss out of anyone's health, but what I am pointing the finger at, or the magnifying glass at, is that we do a bit too much of self, when we could get out of that, because it's weak, into how can I be brave and offer myself? How can I share what I am or whatever to bring balance to myself? And then I get the true feed of life because I'm helping. Ask any volunteer who participates in any kind of volunteering and listen to what they describe as why they did it. Everyone's unique. But how it feels in the doing of it, how the feelings you become. There is an upliftment, and it doesn't cost anything, only the fact that for whatever reason you decided, I'm going to give. There is magic in that. Because feelings happen. Control freaks couldn't have planned. Like with people with one hand on their hip going, life should be a certain way for me, and holding out their other hand waiting, right? Kind of like controlling, however you want to pose it or whatever. And then you take the hand off the hip and the waiting hand away from, I'm still like, life should be a certain way for me. And you just, from your gut heart and taking yourself into something, are giving yourself to life. That is the feeling of magic. Because you don't know what's coming back next. And let me tell you, the magic in that, the underlying design of the heart, is the true magic of magnetic. We don't need no control freak nature for the truth. So you got to let yourself give to live, to really live, to feel the magic of what life has designed and we are one with. So enough with the downward, feel sorry for ourselves and this and that on the inside, and waiting. Me. Why haven't you? Yeah, that's a sped up process of what people can do. Waiting. Or using different power play tactics to get the attention advantage. But don't forget balance. Just don't forget life's operation for health and upward consciousness of the heart is the design of. It is not of me. Okay, because that heavy nature of that is like a slide from the top landing on you. It is not me. It is, you're a part of this world. Get out. Do something. Give. And let the real magic happen. Let it happen. Magnetically drawn back to you what you give. So all you need is like the tiniest bit of sincerity. I see that place needs some assistance, or I would feel better if I just gave a bit to that place that needs assistance, or there is plenty of help required in this world. So act on any good-natured response. Like if you feel, or you just look at something and you go, oh, but that's as far as it goes, then take notice of that. Okay? Sit with the heart consciousness and say, what more could I do? Would it cost me much if I just did this? Okay? And go positively, not, oh, nah. And that's it. Because you're missing out on the magic. Seriously. If we do it in the smallest ways, or a little bit more, or massive, or whatever, from our sincerity of helping, we will be helped. So any downers, that's the medicine. Give. Don't whinge about your life. We are unappreciative jerks on this planet. Now, not all of us, and not all at the same time, but at one time or another, yes. We didn't know our arrogance. But you are here and built for this. And this is our higher consciousness. Let go of the shit, the whinge, the sorry for yourself. It should be like this. My life should have been different. Blah, 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 blah. Make peace and amends with it. Various things have happened. Deal with it. With every single thing that's happened, there is something to strengthen you, carry on, learn, and expand to more. Less of those kind of challenges and more, perhaps something happened to you so you can expand in the world, more light shining on that area for less of it happening. Your soul has something to offer it. So look at that. Life gets easier, even if it's just for one person. It's in our world. That's why those of us doing this awareness of the whole have more impact than those sitting around complaining and waiting. Okay? Better effect for truth. And I will not stop with the truth. All different, in different expressions, all the time, living in the truth. Living in it. We can't not live in it, but we just don't seem to notice like the joy and gifts of it. We're just too busy and victimized, bogged down mentality. And bog is bog. Don't hold it up, let it go. Step aside, take a look. I've done plenty of videos on this kind of thing. Taking a look at ourselves to let it go and open up. Paths to betterment for ourselves and all involved. Those in your environment, those you do not know, those on the planet. Thanks everyone. I'll end that one for now. So, bye for now. Much love.